Great to have you with us on the show today. No big intro. God, so disappointed. What are you doing? No intro. I mean, what are you doing? You can't even get on camera.
Hey, how about that? How does that work? The camera totally just turned entirely to you. How about that? Geez, that even a camera doesn't like me.
I mean, if the whole world understands the thought process of Patches the dog. Now, before we get to 49 good San Francisco seconds, let's get to rappelling down Beaver Stadium to benefit the United Way.
Yes.
Angela did that today.
Excellent. Kudos.
I mean, and it's the second time she's done something like this. And believe me, she was a little nervous doing it.
Oh, I would be too.
Beforehand.
Yeah, no doubt.
But she was great. I was there when a 103-year-old man did it.
Wow.
103 years old.
They're braver than I am.
103 years young.
I was going to say, young. Yeah, absolutely.
And he, on the rope, came down the south side of Beaver Stadium. It was fabulous. And all of us were applauding. I was kidding around with the players. Keandre Lambert-Smith. I said, well, Keandre, when are you going up? And the players just started laughing. And Keandre says, Mr. Jones,
that's how I would be.
He says, how do you do roller coasters?
Right. I could do a roller coaster too. I could do like the Ferris wheel, but no way would I do what they're doing today. Kudos to not only Angela but everybody.
And Kyle. I was going to bring up Kyle next,
yep.
but
Angela, Kyle, and everybody else that did that today. A massive kudos to all of you for doing that, and I would not do that. I'd be terrified.
Well, I saw Olu fashion him. I said, Olu, if you even think about it, I'm calling James. So people,
I was about to say that. What would James think of this?
No, these guys football players were there to watch and observe. Yeah, like I saw, Malik Mega, and I saw Zane Durant, and Kalen King was there. Johnny Dixon was there. Daquan Hardy. Day says, I might try it. I'm like, not today, you are. But then Kyle did it.
Nice.
And for Kyle, I think it's the first time he's ever done this, but he freely admitted yesterday on the show that he kind of likes thrill seeking a bit.
Yeah?
So for him, this was a thrill for him to attempt to do it. He was emceeing it, doing a great job, and then it was his turn to go up at noon because I think Angela became the MC after that. And and he took care of business. Somebody asked me about whether I was going up, and I said, you don't get to be my age by doing that stuff.
Yeah. No.
And then the other one I said was, and I told you this on the phone, somebody said, hey, that's great you're here. He says, you're going to be going up? I said, no. I said, I represent Otis Elevator.
Yeah, if it's a matter of doing that and being stuck in a room with a snake, I guess I'd have to do it. But other than that, no.
Yeah. So all the credit and kudos to them.
No doubt about it. Absolutely.
Because it benefits the United Way.
Sure does.
And it's a fun way to do it. Now, they're allowed to put their feet on the concrete facing on the south side, but not on any of the glass.
Oh, yeah.
But the way it is shaped there, it really is almost impossible to put your feet on the glass. And that is a great way to raise money. Thrilled to see it over there today. 4 overtimes, 2 games, and a third. And the Florida Panthers, Tkachuk scored the game winner in the 4th overtime. Florida won the opener 3-2 over Carolina.
How about Florida? What they've done. I mean, it's unbelievable. Obviously, to knock out the Bruins, who were really at a record year in terms of the regular season, and had high expectations going into the playoffs. Panthers beat them in 7 games.
Yep.
Come back in Game 7 and win that. Come back from 3 games to 1 down, then come back in Game 7, and then you knock the Maple Leafs out too. It's been an unbelievable run so far for this Panthers team that was an 8th seed.
Remember, though, they were the President's Trophy winner a year ago. People do forget that part. People do forget that part. And then Denver last night, Jamal Murray pulled a Jason Tatum. Tatum had a horrible 3 quarters against the Sixers
in Game 6
in Philadelphia. And then in the fourth quarter, lit them up with 16 points. Murray really struggled last night for 3 quarters. And in the fourth quarter, he hit almost everything and was outstanding.
Ended up with 37 points.
And Brown played really well last night.
He's been great off the bench for them. He's always been a pretty good player.
Big pickup by Calvin. Calvin's the one that made that pickup.
Yeah, it's a big pickup. He's played well. He played well in Detroit, played well in Brooklyn, and now he's playing well in Denver. He's a good role player. Those are the kind of guys you need that are going to be on championship teams. I go back to, now this guy ended up starting eventually, so it's not the best example, but I go back to a guy like Bruce Bowen. The guy with his defense off the bench was somebody that was unbelievably good for the Spurs and then ultimately ended up starting. But it's guys like that can come in and give you great minutes, but also get stops on the other end and get you points. Nothing tops that, really, and that's what you have now in Brown in Denver. What he's able to bring, and it's a big win, I think, for them to go up 2 games to none. You didn't want to split going to L.A. where that crowd is going to be extremely loud. Jack might even make an appearance. You never know.
It's the playoffs.
It's the playoffs.
But Michael Porter Jr. played well last night,
too. Yeah, played incredibly well.
And Jokic is Jokic. But what's interesting is that this is one of the few times over the years where I will make this statement. LeBron James did not play well last night. And LeBron James, in a lot of ways, hurt his team last night. And that's one of the few times in 20 years you can ever say that. He really was that tick off last night with his game at both ends of the floor. And I know there's going to be a lot, he played great defense here. Yeah, you're being selective here. For the most part.
For the most part, didn't play well.
For the most part, LeBron James did not play well last night. And it's one of the few times ever that, and I mean, again, 20-year career, what, a handful of times where you can say that he actually hurt his team last night.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
Right.
You're absolutely right. He's absolutely one of the very best. But, yeah, I think he did. And the other part with the Lakers is you want AD to have a good game. I thought he played well.
He's fine.
You also want those role players to step up, and they did. Reeves is playing incredibly well.
Reeves has been terrific.
Rui Hachimura has been great off the bench.
Was tremendous last night.
Absolutely.
But why is Schroeder shooting?
Yeah, that's half the problem right there.
And you want to know why? Because LeBron couldn't hit anything.
LeBron couldn't score,
He couldn't score, so he took – and they're coming down the stretch, and Schroeder took a shot. And I'm thinking, what is he taking a shot for? But that was that game last night. This all is the prelude to 49 good San Francisco Seconds.
I'll tell you what, I'm excited. I'm excited for the schedule. I'm excited now for the fact that the Niners have 5 primetime games. I'm excited they open in Pittsburgh. That's what I'm looking forward to. I got a lot of friends that are Steelers fans. They're going to be talking all the way leading up to that game, so very much looking forward to the season to get going. But as usual, all eyes are on Brock Purdy. When's he going to be fully throwing a football with the velocity on it? He's lobbing it right now, and that's... Yeah, obviously, doctor is not next to my name.
You attempt to play one every day on the show. I will say this, though.
Yeah.
1 year ago, did you ever think you'd be saying that Brock Purdy?
No, absolutely not. No, not at all. And as good as he was at Iowa State, he made a lot of mistakes that you raised an eyebrow at and said, what on earth are you doing? He's not done that in the NFL. He has completely matured, and he's groomed his game as a rookie last year. He's at the point, Tommy John surgery for the most part, or any kind of surgery, a UCL, he's on target really to where everybody else typically is. You start with the lob, you start to get velocity on it. Usually takes you probably 6 months, and I think he's on par so far, knock on wood, to do that. So hopefully he gets his chance again, because I think he earned it. Had a great year last year, was unbelievable, and took him to the playoffs, and not only took him to the playoffs, but won games.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's your playoff wrap, including, Jason's take on it. I mean,
well, Jokic, I'll tell you what, he's making a case that he should have been MVP for the third time. I think that's
well, what?
But I would fight Embiid the whole time. I think the year he had, and even head to head with Jokic, played incredibly well both times. Well, one time, didn't play a second time, but it's hard for a player to win the Heisman back to back. It's hard for a guy to win MVP 3 straight times.
When I was younger, back when McKinley was president, when I was younger, just trying to wound me.
World War I.
During the Great War, when I was younger, I'd be like, "Hey, who's the MVP? Who's the MVP?"
Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't matter.
As I've gotten older, I don't care who the MVP is. I care which team wins.
Which team wins it all? Sure.
Wins it all.
Now, if the MVP is on a team that wins games, I care a little more.
I don't think too much about that. I don't even think about who's the MVP of the playoffs. To me, it's all about the team that wins.
The playoffs.
I always use this example. Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, and David Ortiz. Which player do you want at the plate in the bottom of the ninth inning with 2 outs and the winning runs on second?
In the postseason?
Yes, in the postseason.
I want Ortiz, there's no doubt.
Which one of the three's never won an MVP?
Yeah, agreed.
It's just, to me, it's MVP is a great accomplishment. You can never take it away from anybody.
Yeah, ever. And I agreed.
So I do not in any way want to belittle somebody with a great accomplishment for an excellent body of work in the season. But we're at the point now where it has to then carry over into the postseason because the intensity gets ratcheted up. You're not playing the Lakers on one night, and then the second leg of the trip is Houston.
Yep.
Right? And then the next leg of the trip is Dallas. Then the next leg of the trip is Orlando. And you're like, you're getting semi-breaks here with the teams that you're playing along the way. What happens is that you're playing the Lakers. And then the next game is against, the Lakers. And the next game is against,
on the road,
the Lakers.
Yep.
Right. And that's why the playoffs are so different.
Sure.
Because the intensity is ratcheted up, the competition is ratcheted up, and this is really the weeding out process. And sometimes you have an MVP who's not surrounded by a lot. I mean, that's one of the problems that Embiid does have. He does not have a lot of help. Maxi's good.
Yeah, very good.
Harden is not the answer.
Inconsistent. If he played as well as he played in Game 1 every night, he would be the answer. But no, he's too inconsistent. He's shown it repeatedly in the playoffs. His inconsistencies get the best of him, and you can't have that as a max contract player. Now, look, Sixers fans are going to say, hey, Tobias Harris is a max contract player. I know. He shouldn't be. But
no, he should not be.
Harden is way too inconsistent to be in the position he's in.
Yeah. And that's the way he is.
Yeah.
NBA Combine, getting a lot of good notice, Seth Lundy. He's getting a lot of solid notice at the NBA Combine.
Pickett had a very good one 2 days ago, too. Both of them playing well.
And Jalen Pickett, they had his coach mic'd up, and his name came up, and he goes, I love that kid.
Nice.
Okay.
Yep. Excellent.
So there's 78 there. I think 2 just opted out. There's 76 there. Speaking of the transfer portal or opting out, did you see the latest one?
Yeah, for Rutgers.
Cam Spencer.
How about it?
Cam Spencer offensively made such a difference for that team.
Yeah.
Now, his brother played against Penn State in both lacrosse, because Penn State has the NCAA quarterfinals coming up against Army down at Navy, ironically. And with a chance to get to its second Final Four, to go with the one they also went to in 2019. And Spencer's older brother played against Penn State in East Hartford. He then played against Penn State in basketball at Northwestern. Well, now here's Cam Spencer, transfer from Loyola, goes to Rutgers, and he changed the game offensively for Rutgers. He was the guy that they could look at, and he could get shots. Probably a better shooter than a couple of guys that they had that had left the program. Maybe even a little bit better shooter than Ron Harper, for example. Harper's a good player.
Yeah, Harper was a great player.
Harper's terrific at both ends.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
Harper is terrific at both ends.
Unbelievable defender, great point guard too, facilitator. Yeah, very fit that Bulls fit the triangle offense.
No, I'm talking about Ron Harper Jr.
Oh, Harper Jr.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Harper Jr. Same way.
Harper Jr.
great on both ends, just like his dad.
I think he's with the Raptors, right?
Now I think he is. Yeah. No, he's the same way. Yeah. I should have put two and two together.
I'm talking about the ability to replace guys.
Yeah.
And he came in, and he was the shooter in that offense. Not Mulcahy, not McConnell. It's going to be interesting to see what Cliff Amore decides to do, because Mulcahy and Amore are both going through the G League combine right now. But Spencer put himself into the transfer portal. This kid can shoot. And that one took me aback, because here we are, was it the 19th of May?
Yeah.
The transfer portal closed on the 11th.
11th, yeah.
It's interesting how it just came out now. But that was one of those where I sat back and went, wow.
Surprising.
That was a real surprise. Now, here's the reason why he can do it. Now, he's not an underclassman. He's a grad transfer. That's why he can put his name in now. Okay, that's the reason. That's why you've always got to be thinking, when you see something like that, like, well, wait a minute, the transfer portal closed on the 11th, but he's a grad transfer, so he can go anytime he wants. And he put his name in, and now we'll see what happens with him. Very interesting. Very interesting. This has not been your best year.
No.
I mean, your 49ers.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they're out of quarterbacks.
I was going to say, they pretty much had to throw in the towel.
Not many teams run out of quarterbacks. Yours did.
Not many teams lose 4 to injury, let alone not many teams lose 2 to injury, let alone 4. Yeah, that was not fun.
We're in the NFC Championship game. We're out of quarterbacks.
Yeah, we're out of quarterbacks.
Excuse me. Could you repeat that?
I love the analysis. The Eagles did a great job blitzing in the second half. Well, yeah. I would too.
I mean,
take nothing away from them winning that game, but my goodness.
Can I take one quick note about that? Can somebody explain to me in the Arizona Cardinals organization why there was any need to tamper with Jonathan Gannon? Okay, now if we're talking about
I agree.
If we're talking about Bill Walsh, Vince Lombardi, Chuck Knoll, Paul Brown, I could see tampering. Jonathan Gannon, no.
After that fourth quarter, second half performance in the Super Bowl, you wouldn't tamper with him.
No offense.
Where he left 2 wide receivers wide open on touchdowns.
No offense. No offense, but we can wait. Somebody will have to explain that to me someday. What?
I couldn't believe after the Super Bowl you heard the Cardinals interviewed Jonathan Gannon. I'm thinking, you are?
My question was, what? Really?
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Would you like a list?
Yeah, that was that second half. That is, people are going to say a lot of things about that Super Bowl, but a lot of Eagle fans, the knowledgeable ones, the good fans, they will tell you how bad that second half defensively was. And that's on the defensive coordinator. You can't adjust. You go back to the play, Juju Smith-Schuster play where Bradbury held him. They ran that same play.
That's the same play that they ran to that side that they ran for the touchdown the opposite side.
And he was gone and he had not been held.
That's exactly right.
So then that's why.
That wasn't holding. Yeah, it was.
Oh, yes, it was.
You got beat.
Yes, it was. And I think the big reason that got the criticism it got, yes, it was in that spot, but the other part of it, Greg Olson, as good as he was, didn't let up about it.
Oh, no.
Greg Olson is sensational, but he just did not let up about that. Even Mike Pereira told him flat out it was a hold.
Sure.
He just kept going on about it. And that's a big reason why fans are going to say, hey, he says it. He played in the NFL, so it mustn't be. But yes, absolutely. James Bradbury himself said it was. It certainly was holding.
Bradbury, to his credit, did not sit there and make excuses.
No. Nope. Absolutely. And for the Eagles, to their credit, did not make excuses in that game.
But I mean, so that's the one team.
Yep.
You're a big Phillies fan.
They lost. They lost
and right now they are just
they're a disaster.
Okay.
Yep, just got swept by the Giants.
You're a big Sixers fan.
You do get the Cubs though,
and
that'll help a little bit. Cubs are pretty bad right now.
You wait till the A's come to town.
This is close to the A's coming to town.
The A's are everybody's homecoming game, and then you're a Flyers fan.
Yeah, well, you give up on those. I've conceded I will not be alive to see a Flyers Stanley Cup. The worst part.
This is your life right now. I'm examining.
The worst part about it, you go back to the 2020. Who was playing the best hockey out of anybody?
Flyers.
Before they stopped.
The Flyers. Their goaltending was unbelievable.
Was incredible, which still baffles me. And you go back to that and fast forward to now. I don't know if they were cursed or what it is, but they're a lot different right now.
Cursed. Well, now we're talking about curses.
They're a lot different right now. Sixers got a lot of decisions that I think they're going to have to make here in the offseason. They already made one, which I think was a given.
Yeah, but Doc, look, I've got a list of Sixers problems.
Yeah, he's not
in the top
five. No. But superstar, coach are the first two going to be criticized in any team when something goes wrong.
I know. Look, it's the easiest move to make.
Exactly. Easiest move to make. And the way they came out in Game 7 after the first quarter was not acceptable. And your superstars score 24 points and turn it over 9 times. You're not going to win a lot of games. So obviously that was the biggest move. But now you got other moves you got to think about making. There's no doubt about it with Harden. Do you want to bring him back? I don't know if you want to bring him back.
Well, he's opted out.
He's opted out, but he's going to get a test free agency. Yeah, you have the option to bring him back. Obviously, Morey's still there. So, but what do you do now at this point? I don't think, I know it's being shuffled around. Do you move Joel Embiid? His stock will never be higher. Yes, his stock will never be higher. He's also still 29 years old. I know in big man's age, that's 3 or 4 years older.
Yes, it is.
But I still think if you build a core around Embiid, that team will be fine. But the other players got to step up. They really do. And they did, to their credit, some of them did in Game 7. I thought a couple of guys played pretty well. Tobias Harris played well in the playoffs. He's still not playing to max contract level. Not anywhere close. To this day, I still look at that. Now Jimmy Butler, he almost has the Michael Jordan took it personal level when it comes to that. I don't think they chose Tobias Harris over Butler. I think Butler was going to South Beach no matter what. But signing Harris to the max contract deal was an issue. You go back to when they signed Al Horford. He just didn't fit the Sixers. Now, Horford's a nice player. Just didn't fit Philadelphia. It just didn't fit that offense.
Horford is a pro's pro.
He is. It sure is. Did a heck of a job defensively on Embiid in the games 4, 5, and 6.
I mean, he's not going to be the greatest player on the floor, but he's a pro's pro that understands his role, knows how to play, can make a big shot when you need it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what people expected of him in Philadelphia, but he is.
When you look at,
he's a player I have a lot of respect for.
Absolutely. And you look at the moves they made in the offseason. I thought they were good moves, and they turned out good. You bring P.J. Tucker in, he helped tremendously. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You bring DeAnthony Melton in a trade. You get rid of Thibault, you get rid of his defense, which I thought hurt a little. Mm-hmm. But you bring Thibault in. You bring Melton in. He played incredibly well. Those guys off the bench did their job. Unfortunately, you don't have enough of those guys. Mm-hmm. And the Celtics' depth just absolutely showed.
Yeah, well, the Celtics are going to have to play well tonight because the third quarter, they got 46-point third quarter. Yep. You're never going to win any game when you get 46 points in a quarter, and they did.
No.
I mean, the Heat blitzed them.
Yeah. I remember.
Game one.
I remember saying to you about a month ago or so, I would not want to play the Heat in the playoffs if they got there.
I'll be honest with you.
They're there.
I wasn't listening.
That's all right. I don't think anybody was, but I do remember saying it.
What was that?
But you go back.
I know you said it to a group of us. No, none of us remember.
Nobody remembers it.
Right.
No, they heard me say Steph Curry was too small to play in the NBA in 2009.
How do you do this to yourself? I mean, how do you do this?
I'll never forget that. Yeah, that was the one. I go back to the ones. Sometimes you just ignore the ones you miss. I can't ignore that one. That was a little rough. I said, I'm not sure I said he's going to be a good shooter, but I don't think he's going to be that superstar player.
Let me put it this way.
Now he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's got 4 rings. Should be 5.
But think about this. Larry Bird got Indiana State to the national championship game.
I remember
Steph Curry
got Davidson almost to the
Davidson to the Elite Eight.
A 3-point shot away from the Final Four. Didn't get a good look.
How good do you have to be to do that? Hey, you have got to be somebody that is exceptional because you're it.
Yeah.
For your
I agree.
You could talk about Carl Nicks with Indiana State.
No. Curry was no. I agree. Yeah, I did not think he would be he would be superstar level in the NBA. I thought he'd be a good player. I thought he'd be like his dad. I thought he'd be like Del Curry. I thought he'd be a great shooter, a go-to guy, could be an all-star. Did not at all see him being the Hall of Famer, 4-time champion that he is. Yeah. Not a chance.
Yeah.
Yep, I can admit to that one.
Yeah. Okay, PGA Championship. Scotty Scheffler, Bryson DeChambeau, both at 4 under par. DeChambeau is not teed off yet. Corey Connors, 3 under. Fox at 2 under. Victor Hovland at 2 under, hasn't teed off yet. Bradley hasn't teed off yet, 2 under. Justin Rose is at 1 under par. And here's one of the great stories. Michael Block.
How about it?
Michael Block has completed his second round. He has shot 70 even par opening round, 70 even par second round. He is a teaching professional. Right? There's, I think, 9. I'm trying to think how many teaching professionals there are on the field. 9 or 10, maybe even more. He's one of them. Yesterday, he's interviewed on ESPN by Scott Van Pelt. And he was a phenomenal interview talking about, he's played in 3 U.S. Opens. He's played in all these PGA. He's played in 2 U.S. Opens. He's played in these PGA championships. But he's a teaching professional. And he was talking about, look, I don't try to teach people how to be Tiger Woods. I try to see what they do and then see what I can give them, right, to make their game better and more fun based on what their capabilities are. It was a great interview. And it was a drivable par 4, and he put the ball into the bunker. And he right away he says, yeah, I'm teaching professionally, so I'm going to teach you how to drive into the bunker, huh, guys? they're all. I mean, he didn't take himself seriously.
No.
Right? And he's gone out and shot back-to-back 70s. He's at even par on a great golf course. I mean, Oak Hill is a great golf course. And I'm so glad it's in the rotation. And you know what's interesting about the PGA Championship that's different than the U.S. Open? Completely different. Think about it. What don't they talk about? They never talk about the setup. At the U.S. Open, they're always forever talking about the setup. Oh, and then this happened. We had to water the greens in the middle of the round, or we had to do this overnight to do this. You never hear the PGA do that. They set it up and go, okay, here we go. Yeah. Right? Whomever wins, wins. If you shoot 20 under, great. You shoot 2 under, great. I mean, they don't think they're like the Open Championship in Great Britain. They set it up. You shoot 20 under par and win, great, okay. They don't get all like bent out of shape. Oh boy, they really destroyed that course. They don't care. Just whomever's best on that course. If the wind is blowing, right, on these linkside courses in Scotland, England, or occasionally Ireland, the wind is blowing, the scores are going to go haywire. Okay? And they're like, okay, that's the way it goes. PGA's the same way. Hey, you know what? They'll put some pins in some tough spots, things like that. But this course, for example, does not have, you hit the green, it doesn't run off into Kingdom Come, right? It's, the greens are relatively wide. The fairways are narrow. You have to be accurate. The rough is penal. And it's a great setup. It's fabulous. I mean, and you never hear them talk about the setup and the adjustments they have to make because they go, yeah, setup, that's it, we're good. Yeah, whomever gets the best score wins. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of like you in cornhole. Yeah, you're always complaining all the time about, the setup. Why does his hole on the board seem wider than mine? I mean, I don't understand why you complain like that.
Well, it's only cheating when you get caught.
I mean, just because you have a 30-year losing streak, all right?
I'll tell you, it's tough.
You're a little sensitive.
It's tough.
You're sensitive.
That might be.
Oh, my goodness. Big plans this weekend?
No, actually.
So
not doing much at all.
So it's just an average weekend.
Just an average weekend.
When's the next big Metallica concert?
Not till August.
August. Where?
MetLife Stadium.
MetLife
Yes,
Stadium.
Sir. MetLife Stadium.
I will say this. You know what's great about MetLife Stadium? Parking.
Nice. Yeah, I have not been there. This be trip number 1 for me.
Parking is great at MetLife Stadium. It's all around the stadium. Can you park far away? Sure, because it's 75,000 people there. But everything's convenient. You get off Route 3, you probably go Route 3, right? Go in there. Yeah, there may be traffic getting in and out. But to be honest with you, the parking around the stadium is great.
Nice.
Not good. I mean, you'll find that to be phenomenal. Now, if you get a bad space, don't start texting me. Right? Yeah. Have you noticed on your text what happens? Do you ever get any returns? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right. 2 weeks from tonight. You know what 2 weeks from tonight is? The State College Spikes home
opener. The first, yeah.
Well, they play on the road the first.
Yep. Home opener.
The second is the home opener.
That's right.
Because I'm going to be emceeing the Coaches versus Cancer event.
I was going to say that is CVC weekend.
CVC week. And Joe Putnam was asking me about this today. And he says, "Are you doing the first game with me up there?" And I said, "No." He says, "Same thing as last year." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Scott Walker's in charge of both."
Yeah,
he's in charge of the Spikes.
It's true.
And he's in charge of Coaches versus Cancer. So it is his call as to which one I am assigned to. I'm assigned to Coaches versus Cancer, which is great. That's fine. We'll have a great time. And then the home opener is on the 2nd of June. And it is it's a lot of fun. I just have so much fun at the ballpark in the summer. I love
it. I agree.
I went up in the booth today and I looked around, because I had to go in and fill in some paperwork. And I looked around and thought, God, I love broadcasting baseball.
Yeah.
It's just it's a lot of fun.
Last chance to see the Nittany Lion baseball team.
Yeah, Maryland.
Yep.
Got Maryland.
Yep.
Today's at
tough
5
one last
o'clock?
night.
Yeah, tough
5
one.
o'clock.
7-run lead last night.
Yeah. Yep, 5 o'clock today, 12 o'clock tomorrow, I believe, and that's it. That's the last 2 games
tomorrow,
of the year.
Yep. And that'll do it for their season.
Yes.
Now, the PIAAs are here again, right?
Should be. Yep.
Yeah, I think, Yeah, they're here again.
Yep.
Phew. It's amazing how everything flies by.
It does. Fall will be here before you know it.
Not quick enough. No. Well, are you in at all next week?
I believe so.
Oh, jeez. No. Now, I'm out. We'll have to do a couple things, but I've got that Big Ten golf outing next week.
Nice.
So that's what Garrett was trying to take care of my swing so I don't embarrass myself in front of others. And based on today, the odds of embarrassing myself have been lessened.
Nice.
Oh, no, Garrett's a great teacher. Great teacher. My goodness. Can't say enough good things about him. Well, now that Angela's on terra firma, I know she needs the studio back. But we are thrilled I can't really say I'm thrilled you're here. No. You're the best. I always love working with
Absolutely,
you. So.
likewise.
Yeah. And what's the Metallica date? August what?
I want to say the 4th and the 6th.
Which one are you going to? Both?
Have to, I believe.
You're going to both.
I believe.
You're going to see the same show.
No. It's no repeat. That's why.
It's no
So,
repeat.
yeah, the thought is I wanted to just see one because I'd rather not commute to New Jersey twice, but the thought of seeing both is enticing. Yeah, no repeat. So you're not going to hear the same song first night and the second. And
So
the
you're
next
going to
night.
drive up there twice from here or from another location?
Probably my home. Yeah, I live in Pottsville, so I grew up in Pottsville. So
So I mean, you're a Mike Rhodes guy.
I was gonna say, so yes, I am a Mike Rhodes guy. Absolutely.
There you go.
Area,
You're a
Monterey
Mike
City
Rhodes
guy.
You're a Yingling guy.
Grew
How
up with
about
his,
that?
Yes. His sister was a substitute teacher.
Of yours?
Yes.
Well, I cannot.
Yes.
I cannot wait to talk to her.
She may or may not remember me. I don't know.
Oh no.
I was well behaved in school. You might not know me.
I've talked to the owners of Patches the dog. They have not. They did not come back with the same scouting report that you are giving us. All right. Hey, everybody, have fun this
Very much
weekend.
so.
Have
Absolutely. Enjoy
fun.
the
I know it may be
weekend.
a little showery tomorrow. Sunday's going to be
That's
nice.
all right.
Have some fun, because you know what? It's okay to have fun.
I agree.
It's okay to have fun.